Hi guys, hope this is clear enough for you. Today I thought I would show you a quick beginner's Caucasian skin tone. Now I know lots of other people do this as well, and everybody seems to use different colours. So thought I would just show you a quick skin tone that I use with the Prismacolor pencils. I do find that layering with the Prismacolor pencils and the wax coloured pencils more difficult than the oil pencils. The oil pencils I can layer. The wax pencils, they do seem to sort of build up a wax bloom sort of thing, and they don't always look very nice when I do it. Other people can do it, I don't seem to be able to. So with the Prismas and things, I tend to use 3 colours only. Now the colours I'm going to use today are light peach, pink rose and nectar. Now I used to do it a different way, but I've now learnt to do it this way, so I'm going to show you how I do it now, and I hope the shadows aren't going to be too bad. I'll go in first with the nectar, which is the darkest one, and I am just going to go in with the nectar just into the darkest parts where it would be most shaded, and you would get more of a shadow. Now this is from Maldel Rubio's Diwata, which I think translates to something like fairies, because this PDF all has fairies in. This is one from that. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to show you basically how I would do a quick 3 pencil Prismacolor skin tone, because I know a lot of people do have Prismacolor pencils. That's one of the ones that I started off with as well, and it's one of the easiest ones to blend and shade with. So I know a lot of people use these in tutorials mainly for that reason, because a lot of people have these pencils and they are the easiest ones to work with. Right, so I'm going to go in where the artist, where Mardal has put his shading in as well, but I'm also going to go in some other places as well. Where he's done the dark here on the eyebrow, I am just lightly going to fade out there on the eyebrow. I'm going to fade that one out. On the other side, he's done the shadow here, which obviously she's facing slightly away, so that would obviously be darker. And this one I'm going to keep dark all the way to the end of the page, like so. The crease of the eye would also be dark, and the same on this side, so crease of the eye would be darker. And then I always come down the nose where there would be a natural shadow there, so whichever side you're going to get a shadow, so it's best to try and put a shadow both sides of this. So, and I'll put one this side as well, even though you don't see it quite as much. This side obviously is facing away from the light, so it would be more shaded. A little bit underneath the eye, like so. You can do dark and then fade out like I'm doing here. This is just my way of doing it, that I don't think there's a correct way of doing these things, but this is my way of how I do it. So it would be slightly darker there, and it would be darker round her nose, and the same this side. I'm going to bring that one down and go round her nose. This is the easy way to do it, but you have to sort of guess where the lights and darks would be, or another way you can do that is you can Google some pictures that are of real people that are at the angle that your picture is, and then from there you can see where the shadows would lie. Now, I'm not perfect at this by any means. I just sort of guess basically where I think they would be. Obviously I'm not always completely correct. I haven't learned that much so far, but this is sort of my way of doing things. Now I'm just going to do a sort of dark one, bit dark round a chin line there, before we move on to her neck. There is this bit here which I'm going to do a bit darker, like so, and then obviously round this side, because this bit would be shading her face as well, so I'm going to do some there, fading that in as well, and round like this, because obviously she's facing away, so it would be more darker this side. And I'm going to just fade that into her nose. I'm going to leave the bit under her eye white, and I'm going to leave either side of her mouth white as well, so you can also do a little bit here so that matches in. And we go up this side and we meet that bit there. There is a bit under her chin here where Mardell has put shadow in here, so we can do that bit there as well. These need to be quite dark around her nose, because if you look at a photo of a normal person, it is quite dark where, you know, round the nose area, and this bit leading away from the nose area as well. So I'm going to do that bit quite dark and fade out like so. That sort of gives a bit of a contour to her face. I'm just going to go a little bit round this thing here that she's got on her. In between here would obviously be darker as well. So if they've got any type of headdress or whatever on like she has, the bits in between where the skin shows will obviously be darker there as well. Right, where are we? In this bit here will be darker. So basically what we're doing at the minute is we're just picking out all the shadow areas. Now I don't usually do it this way. I usually do the layering way to do skin tone. But like I said, with these pencils I can't seem to layer with these. They are just too soft for me. I'm obviously a bit too heavy handed still, even though I hold the pencil back. I can do it with the other pencils but not with these ones. So I'm just trying to hold the picture still for you so you can see what I'm doing, because this isn't in a book, it is just flat, so it is going to move around a little bit. So I'll just darken these bits up a bit. So it's going to look a bit weird at the moment until we get the other bits on there, so it's going to look slightly strange. We'll just come out a little bit, because that's where Mardell has put some shade in there as well. Let's see if there's any bits I missed. I usually do miss some bits, but it doesn't really matter because this is just a tutorial for this one. If I decide to colour this picture, I can always pick up the bits I've missed then. So round this headdress thing, and we want the outsides to be quite dark, going into the centre, and I will go in there to meet that eyebrow. This bit here I'm going to do as well, quite dark round there. Sorry if the picture's moving. And this bit here as well. So, and I'm going to keep her nose, the bridge of her nose, and her nose actually white at the moment, and you will see why later. So I'm doing it like this. Now this combination, I do switch colours sometimes. I use different colours. At the minute I'm using the Nectar, the light peach, and the, what did I say, it was pink rose. Sometimes I change the pink rose. I usually stick to these two colours. Sometimes you can go for a darker one than the Nectar. Sometimes I change from the pink rose and I can use salmon pink, or peach even. Some people use peach, but these are the ones I've chosen today. So you can, once you're sort of confident in what you're doing, you can make your own pencil combinations up. So, you know, it's just personal preference really, what ones you use. It doesn't matter really, so long as you're happy with what it looks like. I'm just going to do like a little sort of shaded bit on the top of her nose, because if you look at pictures, people do sometimes have like a little V on the top of their nose. Right, now I'm going to do her earring, her ear here, where it goes around this earring, and also there's a bit here, we'll do this side of the earring as well, and also this bit here where her hair is covering her ear, that will naturally be darker as well, like so. I'll do that bit dark as well, like that. So that's sort of partially hidden. Right, the shading is done here on her neck, what Mardell has put in here. So we're going to do that sort of fairly darkish. And this is the reason I don't colour like this anymore, because it does hurt my hands to, you know, give a bit more pressure. It's not completely heavy pressure, but it's, you know, heavy enough for my hands that it will make them hurt. So that's why I don't colour like this usually anymore. But I just thought I would show you a quick skin tone that I do use when I use the Prismas. My preference is the harder pencil, i.e. the Polys or the Pablos. Or if you have the cheaper make of oil pencils, you can use them instead, because you know they are my preference. But some people prefer, if you haven't got problems with your hands, some people prefer to do Prismas all the time, and that's fine. You know, you can press harder with Prismas. You can burnish practically straight away with them. That's not a problem. I'm just going to do this, bring this line out a little further here around her chin, like so, just like that. She looks a mess at the minute, I know, she does, but she won't do, hopefully, by the time we're finished. That's the aim anyway. So I'm going to go round where these fairies and leaves are, because obviously it would be darker there, and you can leave a little bit of white, and the same here, you can leave a little bit of white there, and in between the fairy would be quite dark. You can also go in again after we've done the other pencils if you feel that it's not dark enough. So long as you don't burnish your paper and go really, really heavy, make your paper all shiny. So long as you don't burnish it, then you will have some more to play with. Now, I think that's all of her neck. I think these are her clothes and branches and things, and her other ear isn't showing. Right, now I'm going to go in with the pink rose, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the bits that we did with the Nectar, I'm going to go over them bits. So my husband did sharpen my pencils for me again. And I'm going to go over the white parts in mostly. Still going to leave her nose and this part of her chin and the cupid's bow above her lip. Still going to leave them bits white for now. Now I'm going to go over these bits, over all these bits here that we left white. So over all the nectar and all the bits that we left white. Like so. I do find this colour gives, I have used the salmon pink, that gives a more sort of tanned look to a picture. This one does give a bit more of a pinky glow rather than a sort of tanned glow to it. So, but it's just preference, just personal choice. I mean, I switch between different pencils, colours, so you know, you'll get, so you know what to use for what really. And you'll see what you prefer, what colours you like, colours you don't, and obviously it also depends on the subject that you're colouring. If you're colouring an Asian person, you might want to pick something that's a bit more yellowy to give them that sort of, you know, yellowy tone to the skin. Just play around is all I can say really. If you've got PDFs like I have, you can print them out as many times as you like. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you print one out and you play around and you don't like it. It really doesn't matter that much because you can always print it out again. This is why I like playing around on these. I also do like colouring these, and I am next going to colour a model review picture for Lavella, who requested that I colour a PDF for his. So I'm going to do that next. We've got some ear up here, so this I'm going to do with this rose pink and over the rest of her ear and the nectar and that as well that we did. So we'll go all over the nectar, and I know I've gone over a little bit, but just for this demonstration I'm not going to worry too much. I can soon erase that if I want to colour the rest of her. I'm going to go in over there, over that bit, and I am also going to go over her eye bit that we did, and also over the nose bit that we did, and that will make that a lot darker, and you can see we faded out there. So that, and I'm going to leave a little bit of white just under her eye for now. So we're going to go like this. I'm going to leave a little bit of white there because the light would catch that bit. We're going to go over her cheeks and things, over the nectar that we did, that we put down, and over these bits as well, the top of her nose bit that we did, and also the underneath where we did the shadows underneath. Now still keeping the bridge of the nose and the cupid's bow and this part of her chin, I'm still keeping that. So I'm going to start sort of here, and I'm going to bring it up like so, still keeping that bit white. Now this bit I'm going to go over all the nectar to make it darker, and then bits as well, make them sort of really dark as they would be, and then come out, turn my pencil around. This does hurt my hands because I am obviously pressing a bit harder than I would be if I was using the oil pencils. So I'm glad this is just a demonstration for now. I will do, probably I might do the next picture, I'm doing the Marble Rubio one, because a lot of you have got Prismas and don't have oil pencils. I am going to use the Prismas for that, but obviously it will still only be in half an hour ones. I've picked a picture out where there's lots of flowers and leaves that are the same, so instead of doing like a 20-part video or something, because I can only colour for half an hour at a time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I colour the leaves, flowers, the person and whatever else is on the picture. And once you've watched me do a few, then I will leave you to do them yourself, and I will do them as well in my own time. And then when we come back, they will all be coloured. Hopefully yours will be too. And then I will show you how I do some of the other things. So right, we'll just go over her neck, and I hope that will be okay for you, because it will just shorten the picture an awful lot to do it that way, because these are quite detailed, and there is quite a lot of things to colour in these. So basically we're going to go all over where we put the nectar, over these parts, and then we're going to go over the white bits that we saw and we left down here in between the leaves, and the fairies and things are going to go all over them bits. She's starting to take shape now, as you can see. If you're not sure where the shadow goes, just guess. And if it's not right, you'll learn by your mistakes. And basically that's the only way to really learn, is to just try things, try different colours, try putting shadows in different areas and things, and just see what you think, see how it comes out. It is only practice, and it is only trial and error really. How are we doing for time? 22 minutes, that's fine. So, you know, that is the only sort of thing I can tell you really. I've only been colouring nearly a year now, not even a year, but nearly a year. And I've just learned so much. I started off straight colouring with just felt tip pens, and I knew nothing about shading and blending and all these types of things. I didn't know anything. And I saw Chris Chang, and I thought, oh my goodness, what she could do with Prismacolor pencils. So I thought, I have to get some of them pencils and try. And that was where I started, and then gradually from that, obviously I met all the other colour tubers, and it just opened up a new world to me. I made friends where, you know, I'd lost all my friends before, and yeah, it just, people colour for lots of different reasons. I basically started colouring because I thought it was something that I might be able to do. It might not be too hard on my hands and my wrists, and it wasn't, so I had to give up all other crafts that I was doing. Not that I was doing that many, because I'd given up, you know, so many by then, because I just couldn't do them, and basically I was getting bored of watching TV, and just watching things on the computer. That, you know, I was getting bored of that. I wanted more, you know, than that from my life. And obviously finding colouring was just a blessing really, because, you know, you can do this lightly. Okay, the pencil sometimes drop dead thread makes an appearance, and pencils go flying all over the place, and continuously dropped. But, you know, it happens, and you just pick them up and carry on. Right, now she's looking just coming to get together. Now this is my itty bitty, my little itty bitty. It's not so little itty bitty, it's probably 3 inches or whatever. This is my light peach, and I'm going again to go over the whole lot that I've done. So you go over all the bits that you've done with the nectar and the pink rose, so we'll go all over these bits. And basically, because this is a lighter colour, what it's doing is it's blending the colours all together, because prismas are so easy to blend with. They are blending all the different colours that we've used together. And that's the brilliance of this. So we've used the pink and we've used some nectar, and we've now using the pink peachy tone. So the light peach always blends it together. Now when you use light peach or any light colour, so say you've put down some greens, for instance, a couple of greens or 3 greens, and you want it blended, pick the very, very lightest colour that you're using, and that will blend everything together for you. So you don't need a blending pencil, you don't need blending solution. Some people do use it, I know, the pencils and the solutions. That's fine if that's what you want to use. But for me personally, I find with the lighter pencil you don't need any of that at all. So I'm going to go over her eyelid now and all over the top of her eye. Like so, and I'm also going to go into the white where we left that part white. So go over there with light peach where we left it white. Now you might have noticed, you might not have noticed, I'm trying to go into the opposite direction as to what I put the last pencils, because I have learned that if you go in the opposite direction, it blends them together better than if you went into the same direction. So we'll go over this shadow area here with our light peach, and we're going to go this way with it as well, because we did it the other way when we put it down. So we can go this way with it as well, which will help blend it in a bit better. And under her eye, of course, and you can see that it's now the eye under her eye, although we've put light peach in there, that has kept it nice and light. And the same, I'm going to go over the bits on her nose, and my ink is starting to does that sometimes with my ink, the HP ink. This picture was printed months ago, way before Christmas even, and I did find that the HP ink was with wax pencils, not so much with oil pencils, but with wax pencils, was smearing the ink. When you come to sort of the blending stage and that, it was smearing the ink, and it has slightly smeared on her nose there. So please excuse any ink smears from the ink. That's something that I have a problem with my Epson printer. Not Epson, HP, sorry, printer. I think Nia sometimes has the same problem as well. So, and because we've only put one layer on here, I'm just going to go down her nose the other way to the direction that we originally went. And the same over this side, so we've got the dark bit here. I'm going to go this way because that's the opposite way to what we put it down originally. So, and then under this eye again with the light peach, which will keep it light under that eye, and this side as well. And I'm going to try and keep away from the ink if I can, because it does smear and it really does spoil your picture. Really does spoil it all together when you've got the smears down. Right, so that one was that way. We're going to try and go this way now and try and blend all them pencils we used together. I'm going to try and just keep away from the areas where there's too much ink, because it does smear and it does make the area black, which is not what we want. We don't want black smudges in our faces, so that's not good really. I mean, this has been done months. People have said, oh, let the picture, you know, dry overnight so the ink dries. Well, this one was done months ago and the ink is slightly smearing still. Not too badly, as bad as my last picture I did on the ink one did. That's why I don't use Prismas very often, especially not on PDFs, because you do get the ink smear, and that's not the type of look that we're looking for really. So you can see that this is all blending together nicely. You can go over this bit as well now, over the mouth area, like so, and do that sort of lightly under there. Now this bit I'm going to go this way, and then we can go back over it again the other way. Try not to get too much smear on the ink, because she'll end up with a black mouth, which is not the type of look that we're looking for really. I hope the colour's okay on this. I hope you can see okay. It does look a bit lighter on camera than what it actually is. The colour doesn't look that good, but that's about as good as I can do, I think, at the minute. So these are all nicely blended together. I keep away from the dark edge, I think, because we don't want black in our chin, do we? Like this one, see, I don't know, the colour doesn't show up very well on there. I'm going to have to see what I can do about the colour. Maybe change it to vivid colour or something. I'll try that next. So, alright, there we go. Alright, now we'll go on to her neck, and again I'm going to go in the opposite direction to what I went originally on this. Right, so down here over absolutely every single bit that we did, because we want it all blended together nicely, under these leaves as well. So under the leaves, I just thought, you know, that I would show you this is, you know, as a quick way if I'm using Prismas or Arteza pencils. This is the way that I do things. And as you've seen, I do completely different with the oil pencils. I do very light layers, and I layer it up until I'm happy with, you know, the outcome. Now this is looking okay. A little bit of smear from the ink, which I'm not happy with, but there's not a lot I can do about that. As my husband says, it just makes them look like they've got a dirty face when they haven't, not really. So dirty faces is not the look that we're really going for, I'm afraid. But there we go. So that's the quick face. Now the colour doesn't look exactly very good on this camera, so while I'm filming you, I'm going to see if I can just change the thing. Just hold on a minute. I can't do it while it's filming. I've got to stop the filming. Right, so that's it. I'm hoping you can see, you know, the colour on her. It's not a deep colour shading. You can obviously do more shading if you would like. You can go in again with the nectar over the top, so long as you haven't burnished with your light pencil. But I hope you can see that she has got dark light and light contours on her. How much time have we got left on there? That's a 36 minutes, say? I don't know, I can't see. So you can, you know, go in again with that and deepen parts up. I'm not going to do her eyes or anything. This is just a tutorial for beginners. Well, not even a tutorial, but just showing beginners really how I colour skin with Prisma pencils. So just, you know, if there's any people who are struggling with skin tones and that out there, this is an easy one to begin with. It's just 3 pencils, and basically that's all you need, is the 3 different colours in Prismas, and they blend so well together that you know, you can do a skin tone where there's shadows and dark bits and light bits. So I mean, you can darken all these bits up if you would like to. You don't have to. Some people don't. Some people like not so dark. Some people like it, you know, the darker tone. So yeah, but like I said, you can also change colours. You know, I keep the same nectar and I keep the light peach to blend with. But any of the mid-tones, I mean, you don't have to use the, you know, the one I was using. You can use peach, you can use clay rose. I just grab whatever I fancy at the time. And if you think that maybe a certain one would work for you, just give it a go. Give it a go on a PDF. You can always print it out again if it's not to your liking. And this is just a start, you know, for people who want to learn how to do skin tones. So there you go, guys. It's looking really weird from this angle. I don't know if it looks any better, but probably it will come out. No, it's not looking a lot of difference, I don't think, in the colour. But that's my easy 3 pencil skin tone. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it's some help to you. And I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.